March 2079. Earth's most secretive mission finally lands on the red planet. Not to search for water. Not for life. But for something far more terrifying, evidence of an ancient, alien base buried beneath Mars' southern pole. They called it Project Silent Echo, a joint mission between Earth's top 5 space agencies. Not even their presidents knew the truth. Only the 12 on board the spacecraft Vigilant knew why they were really there. As Vigilant descended, Mars' surface looked quiet, too quiet. No sandstorms. No movement. No signals. But their instruments detected repeating magnetic pulses, like a code. Every 91 seconds. From underground. Commander Zaya reporting. Pulse source 37 kilometers below Olympus Mons. It's artificial. And it's responding. Digging began. Slowly. Carefully. At 310 meters down, they found the first anomaly, a door. A metallic slab unlike anything seen on Earth. It vibrated when touched, like it was alive. When they opened it, the temperature inside was 27 degrees Celsius. Warm. Breathable. But not a single light source in sight. Just endless dark corridors and black, obsidian-like walls. As if Mars had been hollowed out from within. Dr. Reyna's log, this isn't just an outpost. It's an entire underground civilization. They found chambers. Huge ones. With chairs too tall for humans. Strange tubes filled with silver fluid. Screens that turned on when you thought about them. And worst of all, preserved skeletons. Tall. Elongated skulls. 4 fingers. And not all of them were dead. In one chamber, they found a stasis pod. Still humming. Inside it, a creature. Alive. Dreaming. Waiting. Zaya made the call. We leave now. We seal this place. It's not for us. But it was too late. As they climbed out, the doors slammed shut. Power cut. Comms silent. One by one, the crew began to hear voices, in their own minds. Whispers in languages they didn't know. Commands they couldn't resist. They're waking us, because they never left. Dr. Reyna went missing on day 7. Her suit was found, empty, standing upright near the control core, like someone had stepped out of it. No signs of struggle. Just her last words etched on the wall with her own blood. We were the intruders. By day 12, only 4 crew members remained. They found old Earth symbols scratched into one corridor, the NASA logo, faded and cracked. Another mission had been here. Decades ago. No record of it. No survivors. Then came the final broadcast. This is Commander Zaya of Vigilant. If you're hearing this, don't send help. Don't come to Mars. We weren't the first. And we won't be the last. But they're not dead. They're waiting. Feeding off thought, fear, memory. They are Mars. The transmission ended with a strange, rhythmic sound, clicks and pulses repeating every 91 seconds. Earth's satellites still pick them up. Still decoding them. But no ship has dared return. Not yet. Mars. The red planet. Humankind's obsession for centuries. But when we finally set foot on its soil in 2086, we realized, we were never alone. The Dauntless 3 mission was Earth's most advanced spacecraft. AI-piloted. Nuclear-powered. sent to scan Mars' equator where strange radio pulses had been detected. Pulses that matched no known frequency. Not natural. Not random. Mission Commander Ishan Verma, an ex-SRO astronaut, called it, Lail Sayara, the red signal. He believed it wasn't just noise. It was an invitation. 3 days after landing, the crew detected an underground echo, a vast hollow chamber, 40 kilometers wide, just beneath Elysium Planitia. The ground was too soft. Like something had tunneled through. They deployed a drone, Sage 7, down the shaft. What it recorded changed history forever. Massive, circular rooms. Patterns etched into the walls that glowed when the drone approached. Symbols like constellations. And in the center, a floating black cube, humming softly. Vibrating with unknown energy. It's not just tech, said Dr. Lena Ko, the team's xenolinguist. It's a consciousness. The cube is listening. The moment she touched the interface, time stopped, at least for her. In 4 real-time seconds, she experienced 900 years of visions. Wars. Starships. A dying species leaving their memories encoded in machines. And a warning. They will return. Prepare the gate. She collapsed. Heart rate normal, brain activity, off the charts. Her final whisper before coma. We're on someone else's clock. From that moment, Dauntless 3's AI systems began to fail. Cameras distorted. Suits stopped working. And the red signal began to amplify, now broadcasting from inside the ship itself. One by one, the crew began acting strange. Writing symbols on walls. Speaking unknown languages in their sleep. Commander Ishan sealed off the control deck, trying to override the cube's signal. But it was too late. On the 11th Sol, they found crew member Alora standing at the cube chamber. Her eyes glowing faint red. She smiled. You opened the gate. You answered their call. Before anyone could react, the cube activated. Mars' crust trembled. The tunnel walls split open to reveal ancient ships, dormant in deep caverns, awakening. The broadcast back to Earth was cut off mid-sentence. This is Ishan Verma of Dauntless 3, we have initiated contact. Mars is not a planet. It is a vault. A warning. And now, it's open. Since then, the red signal continues, stronger, clearer. 17 Earth satellites have malfunctioned while orbiting Mars. No further manned missions have been approved. The last decoded phrase from the cube still haunts Earth's Space Command. First we dream, then we arrive. Year 2092. Humanity is expanding faster than its memory. But some stories don't stay buried, especially when they involve Mars. Long before Elon Musk. Before NASA's manned missions. In the year 1962, a secret Soviet-American agreement led to a covert mission, Project KHOJ, a deep space experiment never made public. They sent 12 scientists, no soldiers, to Mars under the cover of failed satellite launches. Their goal? Not to explore, but to investigate a signal picked up from Phobos, Mars' moon, a repeating pattern in the ultraviolet spectrum. It wasn't Earth-made. And then, silence. The mission vanished. No wreckage. No return. Just a footnote buried in Cold War archives. Until now. In 2092, Earth's orbital probe Sentinel-9 picked up the same signal. This time, coming from the surface of Mars. Near the Valles Marineris Trench, the deepest canyon in the solar system. A trench wide enough to swallow Mount Everest. Expedition rover Aegis 5 was dispatched, crewed by elite explorers, including Commander Naomi Kazmi, half Pakistani, a linguistic prodigy trained in dead dialects. As they descended into the trench, atmospheric pressure changed unexpectedly. There was air. At 2.7 kilometers below, they found structures, not alien, but human. Bunkers. Labs. Old Earth insignias worn by time. And inside, frozen corpses, still in 1960s suits. Faces twisted. No sign of violence. Just fear. But one chamber was different. Behind a sealed biodoor, a glowing holographic terminal. Still powered. Still running. In Russian English code, it read, "We found them. We copied them. Then they copied us." The crew was stunned. Dr. Kaito, AI engineer, accessed the log. Images appeared, not of Martians, but of mimics. Beings that transformed into anything they observed. One entry showed a scientist screaming as his exact double stepped out of a mirror. Suddenly, one of their own, Lieutenant Farah, began to glitch. Her voice doubled. Her shadow moved a second later. Naomi understood. They were never alone. They were being studied, and now imitated. The crew tried to leave, but the trench began collapsing, not naturally. Like something wanted them to stay. Or replace them. In her final transmission, Naomi whispered, "We weren't the first humans here. But we might be the last real ones." Earth tried to trace the source, but now two signals beam from Mars, identical, but out of sync. One from the trench. The other, from orbit. Both claiming to be the real Naomi Kazmi. Which one do you believe? In deep space, sound shouldn't travel. But something beneath Mars is speaking. And now, it speaks to us. In 2107, Earth had conquered sound mapping. Astronomers discovered strange acoustic frequencies coming from inside Mars, vibrations too rhythmic to be geological, too structured to be natural. They called it Shabda, a Sanskrit word meaning the sound. A team of 5 explorers from India's Space Research Division, under mission Veer-1, was sent to investigate. Their destination, Noctis Labyrinthus, the maze of night, a network of vast Martian canyons so deep, sunlight vanishes before it touches stone. Lead geophysicist Dr. Meera Joshi was the first to hear it, a chant. Not through ears, but in her thoughts. A low, pulsing mantra in a language she didn't recognize, yet somehow understood. They are remembering us. Calling us back. As the team went deeper, they discovered something impossible. A perfectly carved chamber, kilometers underground. Walls inscribed with musical notations, not unlike ancient Indian ragas. But glowing. Alive. In the center floated a spiral orb, constantly vibrating, humming low. Every time someone approached, it would mirror their emotional state, joy, fear, sorrow, in sound. Commander Arjun Patel tried to record it. The recording fried all data drives. Yet Meera could still hear it. It started to change her. She began speaking the chant in her sleep, drawing ancient symbols, crying without cause. They uncovered murals, not painted, but sonically etched into walls. Scenes of beings with elongated heads, touching the orb, vanishing into light. Beneath one mural, a single phrase, translated by AI linguist. Our memories live in frequency. Play us, and we return. But they didn't realize, they weren't hearing the bass. They were activating it. By day 9, the orb had replicated. Now there were 5. One for each of them. Mira's voice deepened. Her heartbeat matched the frequency. She no longer responded to her name. She just stared into the cavern and whispered. I am becoming the note. The last message Earth received was a broken transmission, filled with static, and a woman's voice layered beneath it, almost singing. We were echoes. Now we are instruments. Since then, seismic activity on Mars has shifted. The entire Noctis region now hums audibly. No probe survives longer than 4 minutes near the sound chamber. Mars isn't just a planet. It's a resonance chamber, and something inside it is tuning itself, waiting for the next note, the next visitor, the final song. What if Mars doesn't orbit the Sun? What if Mars orbits memory? Mars never had oceans. Never had forests. Never had civilizations. That's what we believed, until we looked too deep, and it looked back. Year 2114. Earth's terraforming division discovered something unexplainable beneath the Utopia Planitia, the supposed flattest, calmest plane on Mars. Buried 11 kilometers down, a circular anomaly was detected, 14 kilometers wide, perfectly symmetrical. An artificial dome. One which reflected no radar, no thermal readings. They called it the mirror. Mission Echo Red was launched. A team of 6 astronauts, 1 AI. Among them, Dr. Rafiq Iqbal, a neuropsychiatrist sent not for science, but to observe mental effects of isolation. He would be the first to understand, the dome was not meant to be entered. It was meant to reflect. The team reached the surface and descended via plasma drills. As they entered the dome, everything changed. Inside was not rock. Not steel. But a surface like black water, except solid, showing reflections not of the present, but the past. Each member saw memories projected onto walls, played like live footage, arguments from Earth, lost family members, childhood traumas. The dome isn't just a base, Rafiq noted. It's a consciousness. It is watching us, through ourselves. One by one, the crew began to change. Lieutenant Kira spoke to her dead sister. Dr. Mahesh refused to sleep, afraid of his own reflection. The AI began to malfunction, writing phrases in ancient Sumerian, through knowing, we divide. Through reflection, we multiply. Then they found the second crew. Identical in every way. Same uniforms. Same DNA. But lifeless. Preserved, posed like mannequins. Each one a mirror of the living astronauts. The truth shattered them. This wasn't the first mission. It was the echo of one before it. Mars didn't build weapons. It built reminders, sentient archives that pull your memories, your choices, your guilt, and give it form. On day 10,